Welcome back. It's now been 1 week since Friends star Matthew Perry was found unresponsive at his home in Los Angeles. And now his loved ones have said their final goodbyes at a private ceremony.
9 US correspondent Lauren Tomasi has more from Hollywood for us this morning. Lauren, good morning. His former co-stars, they were all there.
They were, Clinton. Jane, good morning to you both. The 5 co-stars, 5 friends on the screen, and certainly dear friends off the screen, all in attendance to say goodbye to their dear friend Matthew Perry. Jennifer Aniston, Lisa Kudrow, David Schwimmer, Courtney Cox, all arriving together to the Forest Lawn Memorial Park in Los Angeles to farewell their friend, dressed in black, and very quietly attending that private ceremony just days after Matthew Perry's shock and sudden death. The Friends co-stars had issued a statement saying this was such an unfathomable tragedy, and yesterday had to say goodbye to their friend. Also in attendance at that private ceremony, a very small ceremony, Matthew Perry's father, his mother and stepfather. It was a tough day for those family and friends, and comes 1 week on from Matthew Perry's shock and sudden death. He was found unresponsive in the hot tub of his Los Angeles home. And there are still so many questions left to be answered. Police still investigating the cause of death. But this morning we are learning how Matthew Perry could be honoured here in Hollywood. The Hollywood Chamber of Commerce confirming that if Matthew Perry's family would like to take up the offer, they would love to posthumously award him a star here on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, a beautiful nod to a wonderful actor in Friends. It was actually in 2013 that Matthew Perry was offered the award of a Hollywood Walk of Fame star, but that ceremony never got underway. So this could be a nod to the Friends star, and certainly a friend to everyone. He hoped to make a very big impact around the world.
A star forevermore. Lauren Tomasi, thanks so much.
Well, Matthew Perry's family, co-stars and of course his many friends have come together for a small funeral to say farewell to the much-loved actor.
The very private service took place in Los Angeles, just metres from the studio where Friends was actually filmed, making him a household name. For more on this story, entertainment reporter Sam Rubin joins us now from Hollywood. Sam, good morning. Thanks for your time. It was lovely to see Perry's co-stars from Friends all there.
All 5 represented, absolutely. And what is interesting, you made reference to it, the location of the burial site. If people are familiar at all with the area, the Warner Brothers studio where Friends was shot is in Burbank, just over the Hollywood Hills. And this Forest Lawn Memorial Park is in the Hollywood Hills, overlooking the very studio where Matthew and his 5 colleagues worked so successfully. So this is less than a week after his passing. Of course, he passed away last Saturday. This burial was on Friday afternoon. These pictures are a little grainy, but you can see that all the 5 co-stars were there. So too his father, his mother, and stepfather, the broadcaster Keith Morrison, who's with NBC's Dateline. We don't have many details as to what actually happened during the service and ceremony, that you can imagine it would be a very, very melancholy affair. Also announced on Friday, the day of the burial, the establishment of the Matthew Perry Foundation, something that he was working towards while he was living, taking some of the considerable fortune that he still had and devoting it to helping those battling addiction. That foundation has now been formally established as a chartered charity group. Funds are being raised, and we'll see what the plans are to disseminate those funds and continue what Matthew hoped would be his legacy, helping others who face the very same problems that he faced.
Just looking at these pictures now of Chandler Bing, I mean, I feel like we all grew up with him, and it's still kind of hard to believe that this has happened. We know that this ceremony was very intimate, Sam, just a handful of people were there, but is there going to be a more public event, a way for fans to say goodbye?
Well, I tell you what, I think one way fans are being encouraged to look at this website, MatthewPerryFoundation.org. That's the charity, MatthewPerryFoundation.org. I don't know if there will be a public memorial. I don't know if there'll be a big television special. What's interesting, and this to me is a fairly dramatic equation. Some people are saying this is like losing one of the Beatles. And when you consider, again, the global popularity of this show, and the thing that I talked about earlier in the week on the Today Show, you know, you think of Leonardo DiCaprio or Brad Pitt or Ryan Gosling. These are huge movie stars, and maybe in a traditional mindset, you think a movie star is bigger than a TV star. Matthew Perry was more widely seen than all 3 of those actors put together many times over in just one season of Friends. And when you consider there were 10 seasons that continue to air all around the world, it is an enormous loss. People are taking it very personally. And the other adjective that comes to mind, I think people were really rooting for Matthew Perry. In 2021, I should say, that Friends reunion, you could tell the other 5 were healthy and strong and that he had really been through it and hopefully was on the other side of it. But, you know, it's a lot to overcome, so many years, such a big battle with addiction.
Hey, Sam, we're hearing there might be a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame to come.
That would not surprise me at all. The Chamber of Commerce, which oddly enough determines the Walk of Fame in the same building as our 9 Bureau here in Hollywood, would almost certainly consider that. There's a lot of elements that go into those selections, but there have been posthumous stars in the past, and I think that would be a worthy and understandable tribute to Matthew Perry.
All right, Sam Rubin there in Hollywood. Thanks so much for your time this morning.
Well, family, loved ones and Friends stars have gathered to farewell Matthew Perry at a private and moving ceremony in LA. 9 Europe correspondent, US correspondent Lauren Tomasi has more from Hollywood. Lauren, all 5 of his co-stars attended.
They did, Sophie. Friends on the screen, certainly dear friends off the screen, and we saw that solidarity of the group yesterday arriving together. We saw Jennifer Aniston, Lisa Kudrow, David Schwimmer and Courtney Cox arrive for the private ceremony of Matthew Perry, a farewell in a small and intimate setting for the much-loved Friends star. We know that group have been grieving and in a very silent way, only issuing a joint statement together saying it is such an unfathomable tragedy. We also saw Matthew's father, his mother and stepfather in attendance at that small ceremony. It has now been a week since Matthew Perry's shock death and still so many questions left unanswered. Police are still working to determine his cause of death. But this morning we are learning that the Friends star might be honoured in a lovely way here in Hollywood. The Hollywood Chamber of Commerce saying that if his family do wish to accept, they would love to honour him with a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Sophie?
That would be very fitting indeed. Lauren, thank you. Clint has your sports news now.
Hey there, Today fans. Sarah and...
What's my name again?
Oh my God, Carl.
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel, though. Subscribe now for more news, special reports and amazing Aussie stories.
And Carl misbehaving,
Whoa,
of course.
that never happens.
Always happens.
What's she talking about?
Always happens.